The voters have spoken, and they're fed up with the way Barack Obama is running the country. But all the hot-button issues of last Tuesday will continue to shape the 2016 presidential election. Terrorism, Ebola, foreign policy, and you can bet our enemies will take advantage of this president before a new and hopefully stronger president takes office in 2017. With me now, former U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations and Fox News contributor John Bolton. Good evening, Ambassador. What does this victory mean for the president's foreign policy?
Well, I think one of the important issues in this election, as you just said, was the feeling on the part of many Americans across the country that the president's not doing the job he should be doing to provide their security, whether it's against terrorism, the proliferation of nuclear weapons, border security, or Ebola. And these issues played, I think, very important roles in some key elections. Tom Cotton in Arkansas, Joni Ernst in Iowa, Tom Tillis in North Carolina. But I think the feeling was general across the country, and it was reflective of the view that the president is a poor leader. So I think over the next 2 years, the issues are going to continue to mount, and as you just said, I think this is going to be a significant issue in the 2016 elections, contrary to the conventional political wisdom of just 6 or 8 months ago.
Well, you know what's interesting is that, this week we heard about the president and the supreme leader of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini, are their pen pals now. And what amazes me and what I can't seem to grasp is what do we have in common with Iran that we need to make all of these concessions? And I was reading something today, Ambassador. It says in the beginning of the year, this administration had a ceiling at 500 centrifuges, and now we're between 4,000 and 6,000, raising the numbers so that they can enrich their uranium. Why?
Yeah, well, I don't get it either. I think the president badly misunderstands the nature of the regime in Iran. It is extraordinarily anti-American. Its philosophy is a philosophy of religious fanaticism, and essentially it's a military government at this point. They're determined to get nuclear weapons. They've been after them for 30 years, and they sense in the president a weak leader who is desperate for a deal for his own ideological and political reasons. The only reason they haven't signed something that would be very advantageous to Iran already is they see they can get more concessions out of him. And as you point out, now sending his 4th letter to the supreme leader, that just tells them in Tehran there's more to get here.
Well, and the amazing part is, I mean, if the United States believes that we need to give concessions to Iran so they fight with the Sunni against the Sunni extremists, I mean, they're Alawites and Shiites. They're going to fight with them anyway.
Well, I think that the really common thread, though, is that they both hate the United States. And in the Middle East, it's very easy to find common ground in that respect. So the whole notion that the president's proceeding on is wrong. And the fact is, he's just simply not paying enough attention to ISIS to begin with. The main threat remains Iran. So the president loses on both scores. He's not dealing with Iran's nuclear weapons program or its continued support for terrorism, and he's certainly not dealing with ISIS.
And what about what's going on now in Iraq? I mean, there's talk of mission creep, another 1,500 troops going there. Are you concerned about that?
Well, I'm concerned that the president's putting Americans in harm's way with no strategy whatever. The fact is, I wouldn't do anything to buttress the government in Baghdad today. It's effectively just a satellite of Iran. To fight ISIS in Iraq, we need the Sunnis of the western part of the country that were part of our surge in 2006 and 7 and 8. We need the Kurds, and we need to bring in other Arab states as well. Strengthening what's left of the government of Iraq is the wrong way to go. And there's no evidence it would work even if we put more effort into it.